What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Buzz. Sonnen recently reacted to the shocking revelation that Merab went full beast mode by sparring on the very day of his fight against Corey Sandhagen. His teammate Khalil Roundtree revealed that Merab sparred multiple partners for 5 intense rounds inside the cage, showcasing the unmatched cardio, pace, and relentlessness that have made him one of the most feared fighters in the UFC. After that dominant win, the bantamweight champion is now expected to face Pereira in December on a yet-to-be headlined pay-per-view card. With his victory over Sandhagen, Dvalishvili extended his incredible UFC win streak to 14, placing him 4th all-time behind only Islam Makhachev, Kamaru Usman, and Anderson Silva. His non-stop pressure and unbreakable pace have drawn comparisons to Khabib Nurmagomedov, as fans and analysts alike continue to marvel at his dominance. Figueiredo even called him the bantamweight GOAT, praising his relentless style and consistency, though he admitted Merab is beatable, but only by someone who brings aggression and confidence from the first bell. Sonnen broke down the insane details of Merab's fight day sparring session, confirming that he went 5 hard rounds at noon on the day of his fight. The only unclear part was whether it took place inside the official UFC octagon or at his gym, Syndicate MMA. According to Khalil, Merab sparred with small gloves and rotated through multiple partners, each taking turns to keep up with his insane pace. Chell pointed out that not just anyone can handle 5 rounds with a world champion. Merab's team had to rotate fighters to give him real competition. This wasn't even the first time Merab had done something like this. Sonnen revealed he's heard similar stories before, including one where Merab's warm-up backstage during a live pay-per-view involved multiple rounds of hard sparring. His work ethic, discipline, and mindset truly define him as one of the toughest and most conditioned fighters in MMA today. Before moving on to the next news, we have a quick request for you. We're always working to improve our content and truly value your support. If you could take a moment to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon, it would mean a lot to us. That way, you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. Dana White has officially broken his silence on the explosive rumors surrounding a potential super fight between Alex Pereira and Jon Jones. And he's not mincing words. Following Pereira's dominant victory over Magomed Ankalaev, the MMA community went into overdrive with speculation that the UFC might be planning Pereira versus Jones for a historic White House event. However, Dana White immediately shut down all the chatter, bluntly calling the rumors garbage. In a recent Instagram post, Dana clarified that the UFC has not discussed a single fight for the White House event and won't do so until February, labeling all circulating stories as total nonsense. His statement poured cold water on what had become one of the most talked about potential matchups in recent memory. Despite Dana's denial, the idea of a Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira clash has fired up fans and analysts across the sport. Former UFC fighter Josh Thompson weighed in, suggesting that if the fight ever happens, it would likely take place at light heavyweight 205 pounds, not heavyweight. According to Thompson, Jones would return to 205 to reclaim the belt, setting up an epic showdown between the light heavyweight GOAT and the current dominant champion. Thompson explained that this matchup represents more than just a fight. It's a battle for legacy. Jon Jones is widely regarded as the greatest 205-pound fighter in history, while Pereira's incredible rise through 2 divisions has positioned him as one of MMA's most feared competitors. If Pereira were to defeat Jones, he would not only hold 2 UFC titles in different weight classes, but also dethrone the man many consider the GOAT. Fans are torn. Some want Pereira to defend against Carlos Ulberg first, while others can't resist the dream of seeing Jones return to reclaim his old throne. Regardless, this potential fight has the entire MMA world buzzing. Dana White's firm stance may have paused the excitement for now, but the thought of Pereira versus Jones at 205 pounds remains one of the most electrifying what-ifs in UFC history. Move on to another news. Alex Pereira recently reflected on his dominant performance against Magomed Ankalaev, and surprisingly, he admits he wishes the fight had lasted a bit longer. Speaking to the media after his emphatic victory, Pereira revealed that while the finish came quickly and decisively, there was one thing he didn't get to do: slap Ankalaev. I landed a clean punch before the elbows, and that's when he went diving for my legs, Pereira explained. It was a great feeling landing those elbows. As soon as the first one connected, I saw blood, so I kept hitting until the referee stopped it. But honestly, I wish it could have gone a little longer. I promised to slap his face, and I didn't get to do that. The Brazilian powerhouse, known for his stoic demeanor and lethal striking, displayed his trademark precision and killer instinct once again. His sharp elbows brought a swift end to the bout, reaffirming his status as one of the most dangerous finishers in the UFC. Yet, even in dominance, Pereira's comments highlight his unique mentality, a blend of humor, intensity, and showmanship that has made him a fan favorite worldwide. His statement also reflects the psychological warfare often present in MMA.B. Pereira's pre-fight confidence and his slap promise became part of the narrative leading up to the match, adding a layer of personal motivation to his usual technical focus. The fact that the fight ended before he could fulfill that vow seems to leave him slightly unsatisfied despite a flawless win. Fans and analysts alike praised Pereira's composure and finishing ability, noting that his timing and accuracy were on another level. Still, his remarks show that for a fighter like Pereira, victories aren't just about the win, they're about making a statement. Even in victory, he's chasing moments that define his personality inside the octagon. In the end, Pereira's wish to slap Ankalaev may never materialize, but it perfectly captures his warrior mindset, ruthless, confident, and always hungry for more action. Move on to another news. One of today's biggest stories in MMA comes from Beneil Dariush, who may have accidentally leaked major information about the lightweight title picture. During a recent interview, Dariush revealed that he's been hearing rumors that Justin Gaethje could be next in line to face the reigning champion, Ilia Topuria. The lightweight division has been full of chaos lately, with fights being booked, rumors swirling, and no clear answer on who will challenge for the belt next. Ever since Arman Tsarukyan vs. Dan Hooker was announced for UFC Qatar, fans have been eager to see the division take shape. However, confusion only deepened as different reports surfaced, some claiming Paddy Pimblett might get the next title shot, others pointing toward Gaethje. Now, Dariush's comments have added even more fuel to the fire. He said, "I'm hearing rumors of Justin Gaethje getting the title shot, to be honest. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see how it goes." When asked about the possibility of Topuria fighting Pimblett, Dariush didn't hold back. He dismissed the matchup as uncompetitive, saying, "No, not particularly. I honestly can't see where Paddy would be a threat. In striking, he'd be in a lot of danger. In grappling, he's good, if he can get a takedown. But I don't know if he can take Ilia down. From what I've seen and heard, Ilia's wrestling and takedown defense are world class." Dariush went on to share his personal opinion on who deserves the title shot the most, adding, "Between those two guys, I'd say Justin, but I think Arman is the one who truly deserves it. He's earned that opportunity." His remarks have stirred debates across the MMA community, with fans speculating whether Gaethje's explosive fighting style and knockout power would make him a more exciting challenge for Topuria, or whether a technical fighter like Tsarukyan should get the nod. With conflicting reports, insider whispers, and Dana White remaining tight-lipped, the lightweight division feels more unpredictable than ever. One thing is certain, Ilia Topuria's next challenger will set the stage for one of the most anticipated title fights in recent memory. Move on to another news. Merab Dvalishvili has officially reacted to Davison Figueiredo's recent split decision victory over Montel Jackson, a win that has once again placed the Brazilian in the spotlight of the bantamweight division. Following the fight, Merab congratulated Figueiredo, writing, "Congratulations. Great performance against a top opponent. I'm waiting for you." Figueiredo quickly responded, confidently saying he's ready to face Merab anytime. After his hard-fought win in Brazil, Figueiredo spoke to the media about what it meant to perform in front of his home crowd. "Winning in Brazil is amazing. Fighting with this crowd is indescribable," he said. "There were a lot of people rooting against me, and I wasn't the favorite, but it feels great to come here and do exactly what I wanted to do. Get the victory." The former flyweight champion reflected on his performance, emphasizing the key moments that secured him the win. "I was confident. I took him down several times in the first and second rounds. I may not have done a ton of damage, but I controlled most of the fight. He did catch me in an arm triangle, but I stayed calm and escaped. In the third round, I felt like I maintained control again," Figueiredo explained. He continued by giving credit to Montel Jackson's defensive skills, acknowledging the challenge he faced. "I thought I was going to take him down and submit him, but he did a great job defending and staying active on the feet. Still, I was able to stay composed, defend myself, and keep the upper hand." As for what's next, Figueiredo made his intentions crystal clear. "I want to fight for the belt. I want to fight Merab for the title," he stated. "There's also another guy, Pereira, who's beaten me before. If he gets injured or something happens, all the UFC has to do is call me. I'll sign the contract immediately. I'll fight Merab any." This bold statement sets up a potential high-stakes showdown between Dvalishvili Dvalishvili, one of the division's most relentless grapplers, and Figueiredo, the dynamic striker known for his power and unpredictability. With both fighters eager for the belt, fans are already buzzing about a possible clash that could shake up the entire bantamweight landscape. And I need to move on to another news. Tom Aspinall recently opened up about his upcoming UFC 321 clash with Gane, describing the French heavyweight as one of the most unique and dangerous challenges he's ever faced. The reigning interim champion praised Gane's skill set, highlighting his exceptional movement, conditioning, and agility, rare traits in the heavyweight division. According to Aspinall, Gane isn't your typical power-based heavyweight. Instead, he's fast, elusive, and technically sharp, making him a tricky puzzle to solve inside the octagon. Cyril's really good, Aspinall said. He brings a whole new challenge that I haven't really had before. His style is completely different from most heavyweights. He moves incredibly well. He's nimble, super fit, and super athletic. To fight a guy like him, I need to be in the best shape of my life. Aspinall went on to explain that Gane's mobility and endurance mean this fight will require both men to push their limits. I think for either of us to get the upper hand, we'll both need to be pretty exhausted, he added. Most heavyweights slow down quickly. They're strong but sluggish. Cyril isn't like that at all. He's fast, intelligent, and doesn't rely solely on power. Aspinall admitted he's not overhipping the moment or putting unnecessary pressure on himself. For me, it's just another fight, he said. I've got an opponent, I've got a goal, and I'm working toward that. But I respect Cyril, he's fantastic, and brings something different to the table. Meanwhile, Alexander Volkov, who has fought both Aspinall and Gane, weighed in on the matchup, calling it a true 50-50 coin toss. Volkov noted that Gane's grappling has improved tremendously since their bout, pointing out that the Frenchman has been dedicating serious time to refining his ground game. This makes the matchup all the more intriguing, as Aspinall's elite wrestling and explosive speed will be tested against Gane's technical striking and fluid footwork. With both fighters in their prime, UFC 321 is shaping up to be one of the most technically fascinating heavyweight showdowns in years. The stakes are even higher considering that the winner could potentially earn a super fight against Alex Pereira, especially if Pereira's rumored bout with Jon Jones doesn't materialize. Move on to another news. The UFC has officially confirmed an exciting high-stakes flyweight main event that fans have been waiting a long time to see. On December 13th at UFC Vegas 112 number 3, ranked contender Brandon Royval will finally face number 7 ranked Manel Kape in what promises to be an explosive 5-round battle. This bout has been one of the most anticipated matchups in the division, largely because it has fallen through twice before. The first attempt was scheduled for March 1st at UFC Fight Night 253, but Royval was forced to withdraw after suffering multiple concussions during training camp. He was replaced by Asayu Almabayev, and Kape went on to win that fight via a dominant 3rd-round TKO. The fight was then rescheduled for June 28th at UFC 317, but this time it was Kape who had to pull out due to a broken foot. Joshua Van stepped in as a late replacement, but the matchup that fans really wanted, Royval versus Kape, was once again left unresolved. Now, after months of recovery and speculation, both men are fully healthy and ready to settle the score. The UFC has rebooked the clash as the main event of UFC Fight Night 266 on December 13th, marking the 3rd time this thrilling flyweight showdown has been attempted, and this time, everything appears set to go as planned. Stylistically, it's a matchup that has fans buzzing. Brandon Royval, known for his relentless pace, slick jiu-jitsu, and unpredictable striking, will look to reassert himself as a title contender after his recent setbacks. Meanwhile, Manel Kape brings explosive power, sharp boxing, and world-class athleticism, a combination that has made him one of the most dangerous finishers in the division. The stakes couldn't be higher. A win for Royval could secure him another shot at flyweight gold, while a victory for Kape would likely propel him into the top 5 and put him within striking distance of a title fight in 2025. After 2 failed attempts, the rivalry is finally set to be settled inside the octagon. Both fighters have promised fireworks, and fans are expecting nothing less than a high-paced, action-packed war. So the question remains, when the cage door closes in December, who takes it? Brandon Royval or Manel Kape? Move on to another news. Israel Adesanya recently shared a hilarious encounter that left fans around the world laughing. While taking an Uber ride, the former UFC middleweight champion found himself in a funny situation when his driver mistakenly identified him, not as a world-famous fighter, but as pop star Iggy Azalea. In a video Adesanya posted, the driver appeared genuinely excited upon recognizing him, but the excitement quickly turned comical. The driver confidently asked, "Hey, aren't you that famous UFC fighter, Iggy Ilia?" The confusion confused Adesanya burst into laughter and replied with a mix of amusement and disbelief. "Wait, who do you think I am?" The driver, still unsure, continued. "You know, the famous muscle guy from UFC, Ilia." Adesanya, barely holding in his laughter, responded kindly, "Nah, that's the wrong guy, bro." The driver quickly apologized, saying, "Oh, sorry. Nice to meet you, bro." Still smiling, Adesanya replied, "Yeah, all good, man," before shaking his head in disbelief. The awkward yet hilarious moment escalated when the driver finally realized who was actually sitting in his car. Shocked, he exclaimed, "Holy, bro, you're my favorite fighter." Laughing at the unexpected turn, Adesanya thanked the driver for the kind words, showing his trademark humility and humor. Fans flooded social media with reactions, calling it one of the funniest mix-ups they've seen involving a UFC star. Many joked that Adesanya might have a new nickname, Iggy Adesanya. This lighthearted moment showcased a different side of the fighter. Beyond his intense cage persona, Adesanya remains humble, approachable, and full of charisma. The encounter not only gave fans a good laugh, but also reminded everyone that even world champions aren't immune to being hilariously mistaken for someone else. At the end of the clip, Adesanya summed up the experience perfectly with a smile, proving once again why he remains one of the most loved and entertaining figures in the MMA world, both inside and outside the octagon.